Hey gang, Jamie Aston, and bloop bloop bloop. Oh, there's a fish swimming in front of my camera. You know why that is? Because I'm going fishing. Many of you know I live in California, and Northern California, and I keep getting phone calls and things like that from family, like, oh, you all are on lockdown, oh, this and all that, what's going on, all this bad stuff. For the majority of this time, I was out of state. I didn't come back to California until I don't know, March. I was gone since, early February. So I got back and some of this stuff was starting up. And I look around and it just kind of seemed like normal. And then everything, people started talking about going to get toilet paper and going and get all this other stuff. And it started going crazy. Not one time have I given in. And I'll tell you all right, there are a few things I refuse to do. One of those things is negotiate with terrorists. And number two, I'm not giving in to this the media hype over anything that you see on the news all the time. I don't give into. I don't watch it. I don't care what it is, or what political hate they're trying to spread, what celebrity crap they're trying to do, anything like that. And so now the hot topic is coronavirus and all this type of stuff. Not giving into it. I have not given into it, and it's not because I don't think that's not contagious. I think it's just as contagious as any disease out there in the world, you know. Um, but there are things that you do to not get, diseases and things like that. There are best practices that you do to avoid, and you don't have to go crazy. You know, most of us, who are, do things outdoors, DIY, we're pretty handy, and we already think about things that can happen. So you're not rushing out to get toilet paper because the world says go get toilet paper or go get water or go get food or go get ammunition or anything like that. You already have those things. That's what the sheep do. You know, the more you rush and panic, I guarantee you that's a gauge to say how dependent you are on society, on the government, things like that. And you need to check yourself to say, I don't want to be in this position anymore. So I titled this video Shelter in Place and Other Nonsense. Right now there's all this crap, shelter in place, and a lot of people do not understand what that means. Last year, last few years, people have set fires. I mean, there have been wildfires in California, and it made the air really toxic, and you needed to not be outside. Cutting your grass wasn't advised. Even going fishing wasn't advised because you're breathing in a ton of crap. Not only was it trees and all that type of stuff burning, but you had other pollutants, cars, house, and whatever else that were in those things burning up, so the air was really toxic. So you didn't want to be outside. Right now, there's nothing wrong with the air. Not a thing wrong with the air. The sky isn't falling. There isn't an abnormal presence of radiation. You can go outside. Shelter in place, for the majority of people, that means don't go anywhere, because the majority of people, only place they go is where other people are. They're going down to sit at the table, they're going down to sit at the bar, they're going down to go and be around other people. And so since the government knows best and they don't think anyone can think for themselves, and a lot of people really aren't thinking, they hear this term, they just think, well, I'm just going to stay in the house and I'm going to be safe, and I'm going to always be worried about toilet paper, and I'm going to run out of food and all of this other stuff. I had a post on Nextdoor. It's like a Facebook for neighborhoods or what have you. I'm at the lake right now. That's where I'm driving to. My phone is mounted. So there's a person that said, for the first time in history, we can save the human race. There's a lot of people out here fishing. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's some people out here at the park. Oh, smart people. Good, smart people. Knowing that they don't have to be inside. But it said there was the first time in the human race that we can save the people by lying somewhere, lying down and watching television. And that's a lie. You have people, I saw a post on NBC where they were talking about, oh, we got helicopter footage of people outside at the beach and playing basketball and all of this type of stuff. Young people, the people who are less likely to even really get this thing or die. Yeah, they can be carriers and pass to grandmother or something like that, silly, but you can do that with anything, the flu. That's how a lot of adults get sick, because their kids bring it home. So, but Shelter in place does not mean that. It's just extremely overgeneralized because the majority of people don't really want to think. They're waiting for someone to tell them something. So the government is going to tell them something that I guarantee you, I bet the majority of those politicians are not sitting somewhere. They're not. They're out enjoying life in their little special little places, you know. But we're sitting back and thinking that, we have to sit at home. So there's nothing wrong with being outdoors, people. You can be outdoors. Nature is beautiful. In fact, where I'm about to be, I'm going to be so many feet away from the people. I got my float tube back here, and I'm going to just be floating and fishing. And I'm going to be doing that for hours. And majority of people I see, they're in little small groups and they're doing their thing. We're not touching the same tree like you go to the store and you're going to touch the same doorknob. Your pockets are filthy, your steering wheel is filthy, all these things are filthy if we want to be a germaphobe, but that's not the way it works. You go to the store, there are people that want to go to the store. I haven't really been to the store but a couple of times, and I only went, I was cooking some deer and I needed some cream cheese. I didn't go to go get food. I have food, and I'm about to go get some food. That's my grocery store. Nature is my grocery store, right? But I have hand sanitizers, not because society said get them. Where's my other package? I got this stuff because I go fishing, and when I'm done fishing or doing something in the woods, I wipe my hands with stuff. So I have all of these things. I have the liquid ones, all that type of crap, just because that's how I live. In fact, I have a whole stock of that crap because I always buy more. I have the tubes, I have all of that type of stuff. I'm always using, that's a part of my repertoire to have in my vehicle that I go fishing in. When I travel, I already had it in my backpack. I was on the plane, this guy said, "Oh, you have the same kind I have." And I just want to, trying to be like, I don't want to be a part of you all. No, I don't have the same one you have. Yours, you all just ran out and bought. Mine has been in my travel backpack for months or, whatever the case is. I just have it, Toilet paper, stop. Water, stop. Everyone talking about now, going out to get ammunition and everything. And if you live in California, you know that the majority of people kind of bought ammunition a while back because all these changes to law and prices and all of that type of stuff like that. I haven't run out and bought a doggone thing. Personally, I'm a reloader too. But I'm not rushing out to get that crap, but everyone else is. And so now, this was a perfect time. If any one of you are a gun owner, you know that around this time of year, the prices are going down. Trump is in office, so even though the politics, they'll probably start raising up because of politics anyhow, with Democrats and everything, scaring people with guns and all that type of stuff like that. But man, the prices were going down. There were so many deals I was looking at, just like mouth watering when I was in Arkansas. And then I get back thinking I'm gonna do something, and all this crap come up, and those prices are going up. People are making a lot of money. The funniest thing, especially for Californians, that all these liberals, all these people who've been wanting to save the kids and do all this type of stuff like that, voting on all these nonsense gun laws. They're going to these gun shops and saying, I want to buy a gun. I want to buy 2 and 3. And they're like, no, you can only buy one handgun. You can only buy one semi-auto rifle. What do you mean? Yeah, that's the law you voted on. Well, I want to get it now. No, you can't get it now. You can't pick it up now. Despite what anyone has told you, you have to wait 10 days. And for that second one, you have to wait 30 days. So that means 40 days for your other gun. You're not going to get that thing. Well, can I just pay more money? No, you cannot pay more money. See, you continue to believe that law and all these gun show loopholes and all this other bullshit that they put out there for people to vote on, and not true. Now you're sitting back scared. The government has you scared that you're going to get sick. Now you're afraid that you're going to get robbed. All these things that you used to be the one that question, say, well, why do you need a gun? Why do you need ammo? Why do you need this? Oh, you preppers are, you're stupid. There's never going to be a time where you need, food or toilet paper. Everything's going to always work out. And you see, just like that, the government all over the place have pulled out and said, you're on your own. Don't go outside. Makes no sense. It is complete nonsense. I try to be healthy as I can, exercise, work out, do things like that, be outside. I try to be as dependent on myself as I can, pretty dang handy. I'm always reading, learning, working on something, whether it's a vehicle, home, boat, car, learning to hunt, learning to fish, learning to do everything I can so that I'm not in a position to where when something happens, I'm sitting back saying, oh no, what to do? When you have your palms up, there's always a bad situation right there to be like this. That means you have no options. You know, cops got you, somebody got you pinned up, you're sitting back like this, and even worse is to be like this, on your knees begging. That makes no sense, people. That's not what you need to be doing, you know. So if you are in a position where there's been any type of panic or anything, you know, this is a good test to check yourself, you know, get with your family, and you all start coming up with real plans. I remember years ago when I moved to California, years ago, not before everyone got these Ring stupid cameras and everything. I was putting cameras up in my apartment, and I had co-workers and friends laughing at me like, oh, you're paranoid, you're doing all this type of stuff like that. And it wasn't like a year and a half later, they were wanting the same thing and start doing the same thing, you know, and now everyone just seemed like they gotta have them. And I believe it then, as I believe it now. It doesn't stop anything. I just like to see what's going on, you know. And you know, more information is always better. So, well, I was saying that to say, just in prepping in general, you might start doing some things that people look at you and your family look at you and say, you know, oh, that's ridiculous. You're going crazy. You're a hoarder nut. You are a gun nut. You're a fishing nut, hunting nut. All these type of things. Next thing you know, they're gonna be calling you. Yesterday, I had family calling me, Jamie. Three things: radios, walkie-talkies, scanners, you know, can we get those all in one? Can we do all this? What about guns and ammo? Jamie, you know, what should we do? Could we go out and buy some? Number one, you're kind of late on some of these things, and when it comes to radio, we're still late. You need to be working on getting a ham radio license, you know. And if you want to talk about the ammo, yeah, you're out of luck. You're not gonna be able to buy any. That junk is sold out in the area. But you know, now's a good opportunity to learn how to reload because that stuff isn't sold out. Oops, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. That stuff isn't sold out. But the majority of people, you know, aren't gonna touch it. You know, there are some other hoarders, you know, some preppers who are gonna go in there and buy up all the gunpowder or something like that. But for the most part, that stuff isn't sold out. I don't recommend that you just get up in that either. You know, I've been doing it for years. I read on it. I continue to read on it, and you better take your time. You know. But I just wanted to talk about some of this nonsense. I got to get my float tube in the water. I got to get my gear in the water. You can see the lake in the background right there. Those bass, and you know, I caught some giant crappie the other day at Lake Berryessa. Oh my goodness! You all see the video later on this week. But I mean, slab, crappie, slabs, bass, all that stuff is right in the foot of water. Unfortunately, I was sight fishing. I usually don't like to do that, but it was just too hard to pass up looking at those things. So some good fishing I'm about to have out here. And I'm just happy to see it looks like a father and son out here with a little toy RC car. Got a man right beside here pulling out his poles, about to go fishing. A lot of us are not being silly, you know. Get outside. If you are in a service industry, which I really hate right now that's going on, a lot of people are scared. They're without work. They depend on tips, things like that. And since no one's coming in, there really isn't a plan for them, you know. So they're worried. Then you have other jobs where, you know, it's essential. California tried to say that, you know, gun shops aren't essential. I can't think of anything that is less. You know, shoot, gun shops are essential. You know, people need them. There have been people I've seen, like I said, NBC News ran around and said, look at these people. We have helicopter footage of people playing basketball and being on the beach. You have other people saying, oh, we need the National Guard to come through here and get them. People like, oh, we need to enact martial law. Do you all understand what that really means? You know, do you really want to live like a third world country where the U.S. is walking around the street with guns and everything, patrolling, telling you what to do? No, that's not what you want. We are more than capable of doing what we need to do ourselves. We are more than capable of thinking for ourselves, you know. We're more than capable of stepping outside our door and going out in nature and not getting sick. You know, we don't need any of those things. The best thing we can do is to stay away, from all that, the media and the politics and stuff like that. So I'm gonna leave with this last thing, because I think it's ironic, and I think I try to get more people to think. You know, I am I try to stay away from politics on my channel, because a lot of you all just want to see me fish, things like that. I don't want to rub anybody the wrong way, but at the same time, I'm not gonna not be me. This channel is called Jamie Aston. It's not called fishing. It's not called DIY projects. It's not called car maintenance or anything. It's Jamie Aston, so it's me. And for the majority of people like me in real life, you know what I mean? I try to be good and respectful to everyone, but we all have opinions and everything. But right now, these Democrats are, y'all need to be checking this thing if you're really trying to get on bandwagon with them and this PC stuff, because they are trying to make you more dependent on the system. They're trying to take away, your rights. Freedom of speech is under attack. Look at YouTube. All this crap on YouTube right now. Freedom of speech is under attack. They're trying to take other rights, especially our gun rights. You got to understand why our gun rights are important and what sets us apart from every other nation. Too many times they want to point out that, these other nations don't have these issues because they don't have guns and all that type of stuff. Yeah, and their public is not indoctrined from the doggone forefathers from the beginning that they can fight back either. That the government ever gets tyrannical. It has nothing to do with hunting. Not one thing to do with hunting. It's just a right. If you choose to use it, great. You don't have to own a gun. If you don't want to own a gun or do anything, you don't have to. But never ever give up your rights. All because you're not using it now. You don't know when the time might come where you might want to. For sporting, for anything. Just don't give up your rights so freely. TSA with 9/11, we turned around and we said, we want to be safe, so it's all right for us to be harassed and frisked and touched up and down our bodies, because that's going to make us safe, right? That's what we are accepting with TSA. The thing is with TSA is that they rarely save anyone. They do more harassing of good people, just like a lot of these laws, stop and frisk, all this stuff like that. It does more harm than it does good. Bad people, when you break the law, they're already going to break the law, and they're going to continue to break the law no matter how many laws you put in place. But we said it's okay. So after all this stuff with this pandemic, what are going to be our lasting effects, ramifications of us being okay? We're already talking about where we think it's going to be okay for the police or someone to patrol and to tell us what to do and to stay inside. We think that it's okay to be disarmed, and the more and more we give up, the more and more they encroach. My mom used to say, you give an inch, you give up an inch, they'll take a mile. You know what I mean? People are always going to be trying to get more and more. So when you give up something, this is what it's going to be. You're going to be closed in on, and you're not going to have a voice. And the more we separate and fighting one another, the more we can't fight back, But this whole time, they were trying to impeach Trump. The media has always been all on Trump. They started that in January. They ended on February 5th, and they didn't impeach Trump. Not one time was coronavirus important to either parties. Either parties, not the Republicans, but especially not the Democrats. Trump was the most important thing. Pelosi held all this crap. They've been playing the game for months. All that time, we knew about coronavirus. We knew about it. Not one time did anyone try to do anything to stop it. It's so funny, because now we're like, oh yeah, we want to close those borders up, huh? Yeah, we want to think about that. The reason why Italy went down and a lot of Europe is because their borders, people can travel on the train from country to country real easy. So if you got it, they're so dependent on public transportation. We look and say, you Americans are too much car culture and all this type of stuff. No, there's a beauty about car culture. Inside my vehicle is just me. I'm the majority person that ride in this vehicle, period. I don't have public hands touching all this, leaving around germs and things like that. But when you're stuck on public transportation, that's what you have to deal with. So in that society, it collapsed real fast. the more you're dependent on that system, you are going to be in trouble. That's not a good thing. So they had all that time they wasted trying to impeach Trump and didn't, and the media coverage, all this type of stuff. Soon they get out of that, that's when we start hearing stuff. Oh, coronavirus. Trump's not doing enough. He's not making it important enough. Oh, blah, 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 blah. That's when we start hearing this crap like that. Coronavirus was the same coronavirus months ago. So I'm just trying to say that right now the media they want you to be a sheep. They want you to jump up and down when they want you to jump up and down. They want everyone to flock to the store so they can videotape you fighting over toilet paper and stupid stuff like that. When it comes to toilet paper, I had people with diapers and stuff, like kids with diapers and everything. They're like, oh no, we don't have diapers. There's a thing called cloth diapers. People used to really use. You can clean them, wash them. There's nothing wrong with their water. When it comes to toilet paper, you don't have anything. Take a shower. I was gonna make a joke. I got a shirt with a shirt pocket. A lot of people in the country, hunters, things like that. I used to laugh because you're out in the woods and you gotta use the restroom. You gotta do what you gotta do. And so everyone knows about leaves. Make sure you choose the right leaves. I was talking to some friends one time and they're like, oh my goodness, like nah. They ripped shirt pockets off, jean pockets off, use their socks, use their underwear. There's so many options that you can use where you don't have toilet paper. You don't have to give into the hype on that. Think about things that you actually essentially need. The majority of us can go without food for a long time. There's nothing wrong with our water right now. It never hurts not to have water. It doesn't hurt to have canned goods or other rations. It doesn't hurt to have a bug out bag. And bug out bag doesn't mean I'm going off the grid and running from the cops. It just means like you need to grab a bag that you grab out of your house. In fact, you need to have a bag in your trunk, your anything, have one close to the garage door just in case the whole house burns and blows up. At least you know where to look inside the garage to grab it, things like that. Have a plan with friends who are actually contributing to this. Too many people looking back and say, oh, Jamie, we know where to go. You know where to go. Oh, let me tell you, if everything really went bad in apocalypse or what have you, oh, you're not sitting there. I'm like, King, you about to do some cotton picking work. And this is all my shiz on it. And it's going to be Jamie land. And it's not because I'm a tyrant. It's just because that's the way it is. You came to me because otherwise I'm not looking for nobody. If it was just be by myself, I would be happy with that and just like, okay, I'm out in the woods somewhere, and chilling, But if I got other people, that means that, you need to be productive to make sure everything works. And that's really the start and collapse of society right there, people, So the best thing you can do is just always talk to your friends and family. Not everyone is going to get on board, but get people to start thinking about being less dependent on the system, not running around panicking. If you have a plan, you don't panic. If you have supplies, you're not worried, and you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket because those can go bad too. So this is about to be a 25-minute video. I'm about to go fishing. I really appreciate, you all tuning in, and if you watch at a different time like that. Breezy box update. Coronavirus did affect that. I couldn't get supplies in because different shippers didn't have a big workforce and things like that. So, but I got new supplies in. Orders are going out, So I really appreciate anyone that's considering it. I especially appreciate the people who have purchased a Breezy Box network hub for the Garmin fish finders. So I wish you all to be safe. I really do. Maybe you didn't like anything about guns, politics, everything, hey, that's life. That we all live in the same world. Our same world has them. And if you live in America, that is a part of our fabric. Don't give up your rights, whether you want to use them or not. We're happy to see the good guy get shot in the movie. We're happy to see the police show up. We're happy to see the military go blow up people. But guess what? When the bad guy's at your door, the police aren't there, and the military is against you, what you gonna do? So don't believe the hype that you can't win, because in other countries they sure do a doggone good job of hurting our people. So it's all about the people. The government and the media wants us scattered. The more we scattered and panic, the more we look to them. The more we're together, the more we can vote out these useless career politicians who do not represent us. They don't represent us. You know, they represent their own interest in themselves. They haven't lived our life in years. They probably never lived. Some of them homegrown into politics. So we need to get away from those people and get people in there that range, that's on both sides, in the middle, and then we all get together and we work out a solution that works for all of us, rather than us railroading one group and making us out to be evil. You know, there's this movie called Hunt. I was watching a little bit of it the other day, and it's like, you know, think about this. I just said yesterday, I said, you know, reverse racism is coming about now. And right now, it's okay in the world to say, you know, to call the most evil person right now is a white man, right? Um, he's a redneck, he's a dead solid, gun-toting, you know, ignorant, all this type of stuff. We love, that's what movies, it's okay for them to say it, and they really like to paint that picture. You know, men are all evil, especially the white man against the woman, all that stuff. Look at what media is doing right there. It's toxic masculinity, all this crap, you know. They are trying to doggone get us fighting any way they can and separate it when it doesn't make any sense, you know. Not everyone represents that one, you know, or that one doesn't represent all, in a sense. So we got to not give the media all this attention. Social media, the news, stop watching that crap. Go and get your own information. Talk to people. Get out in the world, you know. And personally, I love to talk to people on the opposite side of anything I think, because I don't really have a side more so than just broaden my thought process. I used to be in one mindset, believe, yeah, you know, shoot, just Democrat stuck, you know, thinking this thing and all this other stuff about the other side and all that stuff, you know, whatever. And years ago, I had to stop and say, why do I think that way? Let me go and start talking. Let me go and start reading. Let me go and start looking at this stuff. And the more and more you start looking into the government, the people, the politicians, the this or that, you start to see, number one, with anyone that you thought was on the opposite, you have more in common with. And number two, that these doggone career politicians are against us, you know. They don't represent us, you know. They are not sheltering in place. They're living life, man. You know, they want to tell us to save gas and not drive, and they take private jets. What's killing the ozone more, you know? Oh, just think, people. Anywho, let's go fishing, and you all take care. Thanks for watching. Jamie Aston out. Where is this?